welcome back. We're ready for our first best ball draft of the season. Not quite ready for this redraft stuff just quite yet, but it's going to be gross. It's going to be fun. Let's get to it. So we are back for our first of 5 best ball drafts. We've been doing this for the last couple years now. Just kind of gauges where things are in drafts. It's a nice little tournament for us. I just calculated out the winner. Reveal that in the other episode that should come out before this one. So make sure you catch up with that. 12, let's see. Yeah, 12 team, 19 rounds. We have a quarterback, super flex, 2 running back, three wide receivers, a tight end, and a flex. And yeah, this is going strong. This has been a very helpful tool going throughout the summer. If you can get one of these goings with a couple of league mates, it's actually pretty fun. We randomize the order. Everybody that gets the first draft pick gets to pick the league name. This league name is going to be Diddy Party Themes. Some beautiful team names, probably not quite appropriate for public view, but that's all right. So we are late getting started already, so I'm going to get this fired up, and here we go. Should see quarterback come off pretty heavy in the first round here, being a super flex. And let you know, all decisions today made by Lager. Are they great decisions? Is it a great beer? No. There we go. Burrow's off. Chase is mine. I'm quite happy with that. Should be pretty run-of-the-mill following ADP going across this first round here. I wouldn't suspect a lot of people are going to aim for running back very early, being as you're only starting 2 and starting 3 wide receiver, with the 4th being in the flex. I think getting Jalen down there at the 109 is a pretty good value. Harperville, ended up winning 3 of the leagues last year. Out of the 5, we do 5 drafts. One of them, mid-June. We'll do another early June. Blah, can't talk today. Must be the rear. We do one in mid-June, one early July, one late July, an early August, and then try to get within the last couple days before the draft, just as like a last little waiting for the season to get going kind of fun thing. Probably pretty happy that he's going to get Malik Neighbors here, maybe Genty, maybe BTJ. Going Puka. What a double stack there on the corner. Like stack up 2 of those elite wide receivers on the turn. He's got to be feeling good. Ooh, Rit. I know one of his teams was drafting 2 RBs too early. Although he stacked up pretty good there, it's going to hurt later. Yeah, I'm just not sure where we sit with Bowers. Well, I know a lot of people, I know where they sit. They sit right here as he's the tight end 1. I'm just a little more hesitant. It looks like there's a little bit more receiver volume going on, or receiver variety happening down in Vegas right now. Geno has never been a huge tight end targeting quarterback. So we'll see kind of what happens there. Look at Scooter coming in, getting some J-Jets and BTJ. That's just nasty. I think I'm going to have to follow suit here, go in wide receiver 1s. Oh, goodness. We're just going to make this all sorts of gross here. I know I'm going to get some shit for that one. Not having a quarterback yet, letting Patrick Mahomes fall to me or past me on a super flex, letting him go like that. Just going consistency upside with what Derrick Henry can put up with, and consistency in higher points. So as long as he's on the field, he should be pretty solid, and that's what I'm going for. Last couple of seasons, we've had some games that let down. from Mahomes. Talent on the turn here, getting Drake London. Wouldn't be surprised if he dropped down. Got some AJ Brown. So at this point, what I'm going to hope for is, that Justin Herbert falls to me, get him as a QB1. I doubt Bo Nix is going to make it past Space Aids. In fact, he'll probably go to Ron right here. Oh, Jonathan Taylor and Bo Nix right there. If not, I will be smashing Bo Nix. Take a peek at what he was averaging last year. 15, 16 points. Got up in the 20s sometimes. Got four rushing touchdowns, three rushing. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4 rushing touchdowns. I like to see games with 3 or more passing touchdowns. It's always a nice feeling. Herbert definitely has some bigger squad, much better on his points and averages. I think I'm going to just jump down and get Herbert as my QB1. Catch is probably going to go Nix. Oh, Baker. Third round QB run. This seems pretty fitting. If I were money, I would go AJ Brown here. Not quite Garrett Wilson. Maybe Marv. But I think AJ Brown would be his better lock right here. Unless he's going to go running back early. I mean, there's some good running backs to grab there. There we go. AJ Brown. I mean, I'm so shocked. All right. So he probably needs wide receiver as well. But looking at Marv, Garrett might be his choice here. Nope. Going quarterback, getting Purdy. Definitely going to see some quarterbacks run off here on this turn. Kyler definitely is probably going to end up on Mike's squad and May. I mean, that would be a hell of a turn there to come away with Kyler, May, and or Stroud. And he could almost have his Marv and Kyler stack. Get his 3 elite wide receivers in. Play the mid-round running back game. That'd be a great play for Mike there. All right, Imp. What you gonna do, brother? Oh, he's gonna let us down. He's gonna auto. Oh, he's back in time. Well, you got Jacobs. Got back in time for that, I guess. Mike's got a pretty interesting play here. There's lots of great players still here. Could double up on his quarterbacks, which would be a nice, solid play. Very interested here. See how it's going to go. If he autos, gets Marv and Kyron out of this, that's kind of funny. Later can stack it with Stafford. That'd be disgusting. Oh, Garrett. Okay. Yeah, something I've learned drafting over the last few years now. You start to really look at how these teams are starting to formulate. You can kind of see what they're going to be possibly looking for. Harborville's probably not going to go for tight end anymore, not for a few more rounds. He's okay on quarterback, so whatever's coming his way, running back, wide receiver, very likely is going to be, could be a wide receiver. Marv or Rashee Rice could be down there. T. Higgins could be his first wide receiver. So we'll see how that all plays out. But it's definitely something you can start to see the trend of the team a little bit. And, drafting with these guys, you get to start to learn their tendencies a bit. All right, Mike, I don't need field time. Let's draft, buddy. Look at that. Coming away. Oof, he's on auto now. Neighbors, Puka, Garrett, Marv. He's going to either be really happy or really mad. My guess, he's going to be pretty happy. You're starting 4 wide receivers with your flex spots, so he's pretty locked in with some great talent there. That also means that, going from money down to myself, we can all go on a quarterback run, and we're all going to get one, two, three, you know, and then where you kind of feel about those guys, those can probably skip down through here and make the turn, but very likely 3 quarterbacks will go within that zone right there. Yeah, drafting the 5th spot here it was tricky doing some mock drafts, especially where I come back at the 2-8. Really kind of leaves you in a spot of that wide receiver 1, 2 kind of feeling of a tier for your wide receivers. You're getting the back of the top 5 of your running back. So from there, you can start to play a little bit looser of what you're going to do with your running backs, squad. Reese is going to be hard to figure out this year. I've got a lot of shares of Braylon Allen that I picked up this offseason. I was able to get him fairly cheap, a couple third and second fourths, stuff like that, before people were kind of catching on to what I was doing and buying into a great performing back that, it's like Charbonnet last year. Like if you had him, you're able to sell him off probably for like a second, rookie draft pick. It's nice to be able to turn a profit sometimes from players, even when they're not going to be a full season long fill. And sometimes it's takes those moments of stacking up in the off season on players that have potential. Then it just goes through the draft. They don't really add more competition or anything, and now they've got 2 solid running backs on the Jets. Braylon Allen showed that he's more of a rushing running back versus Brees, who can do more receiving if needed. And so I just like the value of having Braylon Allen there going forward, looking at the contracts and all that fun stuff. Roll with Kyler one more year. Go with Drake May, who's got a questionable room. Screw it. Let's put it in Stroud. Stroud and proud. So from here, I know it's probably not going to happen, but Travion becomes one of my next targets. Still like Mike Evans, and then really like the DJ Moore, Travis Hunter right here. So those were where I'm looking because I expect a lot of this to come off the board. I'm the only one that ended up getting a quarterback on that run, so pretty happy with what I got there. It's a nice stack. Hopefully Rice isn't going to see any repercussions from getting pulled over a year ago or fleeing the scene or whatever happened. Ron could probably get Drake May right there. Be very happy about that. See some Tyreek come off. No, James Cook. Kind of gets to a pretty fuzzy area right there. I think I dropped down a little bit more. Coming more in probably for DJ Moore. Looking to fall to me here. What I'm going to try to do with this draft, something I don't do in other drafts, I'm going to try to go without getting rookies. Just to see how I can do. You end up trying to chase those rookies. They always do end up underperforming for you. Takes a truly like breakout rookie season before they're really doing anything for you. This isn't a dynasty at all, so we're not keeping those players long term. Looking forward to next year, so there's no real reason to truly invest in the rookies unless they're Ashton Genty or Jamar Chase when he came out. Those rookies that could have a giant impact right from the start. I personally still am very low on Ted McMillan. Just knowing the tendencies of Bryce Young and how he likes to throw with his players more open makes me seem like he might be a little more hesitant with Tet. Use those routes, whatever they did were for Adam Thielen, see if those will work for him. But I really think Jimmy Horn Jr. plays, a great spot for the Carolina team because there's going to be focus on Leggett. There's going to have to be focus on, Tet McMillan. It's going to open up Jimmy Horn Jr. to do what he does and do some great crossing routes. The guy is fearless, could be great over the middle for them. I really think a player that people should watch for in camps and see if it's going to turn out for him or not. So getting back down to Mike over here, not much left for quarterbacks. He's going to have to hit. He's probably going to, well, in my opinion, probably looking at Justin Fields, maybe some Cam Ward. Try to get those late round wide receiver. Excuse me, words are hard. Late round running back, late fuck, late round quarterback that has some rushing upside. Might getting away with some T-Law. I mean, this is going to be the best mix of wide receivers and everything together. Potential best wide receiver potential with BTJ and Travis Hunter coming in. Brenton Strange looks, like a strong receiving tight end for them. Enough so the coach let Ingram walk. DK Metcalf, I think he's going to be one of those steals that's going on right now. Looking at what we have available right now, we've got Derrick Henry, Jamar Chase. So we got our quarterbacks kind of set. To me, I am looking really right down here at like Devonta, Travis Hunter. Wouldn't go there. I wouldn't mind grabbing Fields there and just being done with quarterback. Jameson is another person I'm eyeing. I mean, as much as I just said I don't want to go run or rookie, I still have an eye on Caleb Johnson. Recently, hearing that there's rumors that Jordan Addison's going to be suspended first 3 games. So he's got an actual trial set already. So something to be mindful if you have Addison, if you're relying on him to be one of your top players. So looks like all of that fell back to me here. I wonder if I can play the game and see if Justin Fields will make it back to me. Let's see if that happens. Oh, and there goes my rookie thing. Just picked up on her. Don't mind it so much. He becomes my wide receiver 3, looking to get big plays from him. Hopefully get you a couple points in special teams as well if you get something to return. Wouldn't mind Devonta Smith there too. He becomes more of a solid wide receiver. He's going to get your 10 to 12 points a week, 5 for 50, 6 for 60. He scores a touchdown, you get a bump into in the 18 range pretty easily there. But that's kind of what your expectation is with Devonta Smith, unless the matchup ends up right, or AJ Brown is down, or they have a lockdown corner on AJ Brown the whole game. Yeah, Jameson Williams going to be probably a big player this year. Neighbors are great. Penix coming off the board there. My gamble with Fields might still roll all the way to me. More enticing players, maybe an Xavier Worthy, RJ Harvey. Harvey just holds back just a touch for me because JK came in there. He might end up being a little bit more of the goal line worker, which takes those extra couple touchdown attempts at least away from Harvey. If not even some of that workload right now, which I'd fully suspect going into next season, Harvey becomes more in that top 10 running back conversation. But just the cap on it right now is because of Dobbins. Both these guys could use running backs. Very much could see space aids go Caleb Johnson here. Let's see who else is in this running back room or running back area here. Not much. Actually goes into a lot of wide receiver there, which could play into a good spot for both of them getting their 4th wide receiver. There's a good pool there. But I really think Space Aids here goes and gets Caleb. Well, hoping it. Oh, going in for Xavier Worthy. That leaves the door open for Mr. Always Right over here. Grab Caleb. No. Yes. No. Yes. So there still are another tier down of receivers. I could take Jonnu. There's still some quarterbacks that are floating down there. Kind of leaves me in a rough spot here. Could lock in my running back too. I think that if there's a game that he ends up doing well, see if it works. We'll wait till after the turn about Harperville money, start looking at what options could be for us. I remember when I first started really getting into fantasy football again, a lot of the time I was like, okay, well, I need so and so player to fall to me. And then it wouldn't happen. And then my whole mental state is just shooken. So I've learned that you can't control the board, but by the time that you're 3, 4, 5 picks out, you could really start looking at the options. Start picking 4 or 5 players, maybe even one more past what would yours, if the worst luck happened where all of those got picked, who are your fourth and fifth choices that you would pick between? Scooter going running back heavy. He's got 2 top wide receivers stacking up his running back, so he's going to be starting probably all 3 of those guys. Which you look at Travion, he's probably going to end up sharing some time with Ramondre, probably a touch bit of Antonio if he's still there. I don't remember if he's signed again or not. But you got just enough of that where he's not the back in the field, where we still have like James Conner that's in the pool here that he's going to be their RB. He's done well, he's caught well, he's just missed some time, which I still have Trey Benson in a lot of leagues where I'm looking to keep him as a backup or a handcuff for this year because they really didn't add a whole lot to the running back squad in Arizona. Nice pickup of Kelsey there. I still like to grab Noah if I'm Noah Gray. Probably late in the rounds, probably 14, 15, looking around there to maybe get him. I wouldn't be surprised if Mike came away from this turn going with one of his old reliables, Cortland Sutton, grabbing down and grabbing a Cam Ward as his QB2. Little rushing upside. Ooh, came out of it. QB strong. Went Tua, Stafford, which, yeah, Stafford makes perfect sense coming out of there with Puka earlier. But yeah, Mike is probably going to do something very similar to me. Next round or two, grab a couple of tight ends, but mostly be looking at those running back wide receivers and just slotting those in and making sure that you got enough great rotation. In fact, I might even just go one tight end and just forfeit the position if they're not going to be playing and just really focus on taking all the dart throws at the other positions and hoping that those points will cancel out even having just the one tight end. All right, so we start looking. Caleb Johnson's still sitting there. Probably not after catch, though. So maybe going Aaron Jones is a strong play for me here. Wouldn't mind Cortland Sutton as well. Ridley is actually somebody I'm still pretty keen on. Let's go, Jonnu. I still think that Ridley could make it back to me. Same with Aaron Jones. They're not as tempting being on the aged end of their career. So probably around round 11 here after I draft, start doing a little couple team breakdowns, looking at what we got for their rosters. I mean, as of round 9, you should kind of have filled out your starting roster. Some people play, like we've drafted 3 quarterbacks, so our roster already has a bench player on it, and the starting roster is not technically full. So usually by round 11, everybody's pretty much filled in with their starting roster, and I could take a peek at that here, and we'll look through it and talk through some of the teams and how they're building so far. Oof, Ron's running into a rough week 5 there. The last 3 players he drafted are all week 5 bye weeks. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how that plays out for him. You bastard, Ron. That's all right. Still got Aaron Jones here, who I don't mind grabbing here. Pollard's supposed to get some good work this year. ETN could have a bounce back season as well. Actually, let's go ahead and throw him up there. Rather have Aaron Jones first. Let's see, we got 3 spots until me, so let's at least get 4. It's tempting to go Mbuka. Ooh, but I think I might go Kincaid. Let's look at the tight end board. Catch is the only one with a tight end. Very likely that can get Kincaid to come back. Tough one. Yeah, probably going to go Aaron Jones. Go with the aged running backs for my running back room there. Definitely going to be spending probably around 14, 15 to start, piling in those extra running backs. Matthew Golden could end up being a good dart throw. Best ball. Nice to have those big games. Let's go ahead and throw Mbuka on there. We just don't know. Same with Golden. After Kincaid, if he falls off, I'll just wait on a tight end. I'm not really worried about that. Like Downs, Diggs can still be the target. Start getting those running backs. Even got a starting running back sitting there. You'll get some more stacks in. Get the backup for Aaron Jones. And there's Trey Benson for us. I know we're getting like 15 rounds ahead of where we're supposed to be. You start to get a lot of these rookie blends in here. A lot more tempting players. You're going to score more points by name. For me, Hunter Henry is still in play. I like him really deep in there. Oh, yeah, real deep in there. You know what I mean. All right, let's get back to where we are with the draft here. The way my roster has gone so far, if I hadn't gone quarterback with Fields, I would have had filled my flex spot. I would be solid. And that's kind of what I was talking about. By round 11, everybody should probably be close to that. My thoughts is, Johnny's probably going to end up falling back down in drafts some more after that. The last year hype is going to wear down. Tight ends end up settling a little bit more, not so much based on last year, but what's going to happen. And, we could see Evan Ingram probably will shoot up. Loveland, he's going to be in that no man's land because he's got Komet there. But that's where I still feel like you're going to get a value at Kincaid if you're able to get him in this range. So reason I'm keeping Travis Etienne ahead of Dalton Kincaid is because I still believe that Dalton Kincaid could even fall another round. I'm not worried that people are looking at him to be their tight end one. Mr. Always Right still doesn't have one. Neither does Ron, but I don't think that's their focus right now. I mean, you look at players like I was just looking at. You still got Hunter Henry down there, who's a viable tight end dumping ground for touchdowns. I think what I'll do also is probably cut this video in half right before my pick here. Just make it so it's a little bit easier to digest. We're probably about 50 minutes into the draft. So being able to cut down a lot of that, make it a little bit more manageable videos to watch. So you really see kind of more like your first half build and then your bench build, and then kind of a team analysis with with the bench build. We're going to wrap it up right here and continue this draft for you in the next episode. So stick around. That should be coming out in the next day or two. And with that, like I said, just saying, we'll have the bench wrap up and then look at kind of a team analysis of where everybody is. Till then, see you.